Dutch dates. You're not what? So you're not okay with the Dutch date? So dude asks you out, and he's like, let's go out, let's do our thing. I want to get to know you. Everything is, I mean, everything from the moment he approaches you, the look, everything is on point. He just checking all the boxes. And then y'all exchanging phone conversations or texting or whatever. Everything is going great. And then he lets you know that when y'all meet up, hey, just want to let you know we going Dutch on this date. But everything, he's checking all the other boxes. What's good with me, Chanel? Tell me what's good.
Okay.
Okay.
So if I were to go on this date, so let me start off by saying women who are okay with the whole have 50% thing, I understand that, times have kind of transitioned into that, but I personally, even though I have something to add, I'm attracted to the type of man who would want to provide it all.
Right.
So I don't know I don't know if I would be able to, I would have to be there to know if I would stay interested.
Yeah.
Because, I'm just like, how in what other ways are you gonna look for me to meet you halfway? You know what I mean? I don't want to meet halfway on the same thing.
Right.
I want you to take care of that, and I take care of that.
Right.
So it's like how are we gonna do that? I can't help but to think about all the other things that I don't want. That's not the dynamic that I want. So
I've always said that I would never propose and I would never accept a Dutch date. I can accept a treat. A woman saying, "Oh, this is my night. I got you. I'm finna let me show you what I can do." And I've learned, and I've grown to learn to accept that. I've learned to accept it over the years. Whereas I was always like, oh, I'm gonna do. Well, women want to plan. They know a nice night spot. They know a nice live music spot. They want to take you, show you. So that I've understood. And when it comes to a split of an event or an outing, a trip, I can split a trip if it depending on how it's planned. If it's planned to be a split, yes. If I've planned it for be a trip, I mean a treat, I'm not gonna ask for a split. So, but a date,
yeah,
no, I don't believe in the Dutch date.
I feel like that's my same hang up. It's like you want to pursue me, but you're
and you know what? I think a lot of guys, I will say this though, and I hear this beef. I've never experienced this. Two things. With these women out here trying to get meals, I'm like, bro, I've never experienced it, so I don't know. And them feeling like kind of like the nice guy finished last, that sort of dynamic. Or for me personally, I've always thought that to be used for a meal, if that even exists, have you ever done that?
No.
To me, bro, to get used for a meal, I don't think you just ask a woman one time to go out and she says, you know what, I'm gonna do this just to go eat. I think I might be wrong. You done hunted that woman down. You done been in her inbox, DM, texting her, bugging. Because as a man, I know this. Oftentimes we think persistence is key. And if we just get the opportunity to sit down across from her one time, she gonna be on.
Right.
And you get out and she gets there and you sit down across from her that one time and she sits through the meal, has a drink, and y'all part ways. But then the energy just not on. And then so you feeling like you was used for a meal. She entertained you. Even though she kind of didn't want to, she did. So there are a lot of guys like, bro, if you get curved the first time, and then the second, I say circle the block one time, bro. I'll circle the block one time. I ain't above it. Circle the block one time. You don't circle that block more than one time, and you keep circling that block. and she decided to just go on for the ride and she still ain't feeling you, you can't tell me you got used for no meal, bro. Take that in.
Right.
Take that in.
Mm. That's definitely one of them. I mean, and I feel like kind of similar to what you said. I know in some cases, some women that do that, it's not even a matter of that particular man circling back around. It's just like, so many people have disappointed them. So when this person did, they probably, once they got to the date, they probably didn't, realize, okay, I'm really not interested. They probably didn't intentionally go into it
Right.
like that's what it is, but whenever they went on the date, it was more so like, let me just go on this date and, because that other dude tripping. So I'm just going on this date, go eat. And you get there and it's like, and I don't like you either. So
right. I've had dates where we got to the same space and it just didn't click.
yeah.
And I'm gonna pay the tab and I don't feel no way about it. I don't feel like I got used. I don't feel like I got played. I'm like, the energy just was off. She looked good. I think I look okay from time to time. I'm like, the energy just was off. Keep it moving. It's never been
Yeah.
one of those things I've taken personal.
Right.
Now, as far as younger years, I can't understand that some brothers. Now we talking about our youth. We talking about from the teens to the early 20s. A lot of us have been played or played some games. So I do think a lot of people carry that stuff forward, thinking
Yeah.
that's never gonna happen to me again. So no matter what, the first date is Dutch. If she really feeling me, she gonna come on this Dutch date. I can understand it. I really can understand it.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, a
What?
lot of people are carrying some of their old dating experiences.
Yeah, man. Heck yeah, man.
Definitely.
Heck, you like, I think there is a certain energy that individuals can give off that they're not tried the same way other individuals are.
Right.
There's a certain way you present yourself to where you don't attract the type of people who would try the type of things. Maybe I look poor. Maybe I look poor because I ain't never, ever had a woman try me the way I've seen some brothers get tried, as far as women asking them about money and favors financially, so early on before meeting or just short. That has never, ever happened to me, ever.
Right.
So to me, it's such a foreign thing that when dudes are saying it, I'm like, bro, what? I say, well, what are y'all doing wrong? You got to be doing something to attract that energy, because I've never.
Yeah.
And then maybe, like I said, maybe I'm poor, maybe I look poor, and I love it. Maybe I look so poor with it, like, we're gonna leave him alone. We ain't gonna bother him about no money.
I feel like it's a little bit of truth to, attracting what you are. But I feel like when people deal with bullshit, it's a matter of them just, it's a matter of what they're allowed, not what you attract. So, if you're not attracting a certain kind of man, or if they are attracting those kind of women, they're entertaining those kind of women. They enough for them something must have been said for them to feel like they could get far enough to ask that. Unless it's a matter of these women asking them for things on the first date.
Right.
Like, are they not leading with, what they can provide at all?
Let me tell you. No. And I'm gonna be real, because I know it's dudes out here, and I've flamed some of them up in Facebook groups before. You know who you are. If you by any chance see this, I've seen it before. I've known dudes who are tricks. Like, that's what they are. That's what you are. They lead with how much money they make. They lead with statements like, oh man, I'm just trying to find somebody who just ain't about trying to get me for my money. Bro, you cannot say that. You can't lead with, listen, let me tell you what predators do. A woman can't lead into a situation with a man. I just want to find somebody who ain't gonna cheat. What? Everybody done cheated on me. Okay, well, he like, well, shoot. If everybody done cheated on you, it must be something that everybody do. You're coming and showing them that you're flawed in that way. Like, it's like victims are victimized repeatedly.
Right.
Usually, like, a victim is re-victim. So I'm like, dude, you're leading with something in your energy is saying, I stand on my money. So a woman is like, well, if you stand on your money, I'm gonna ask for some of it. Why would I not?
Right.
I see, and I was, my mother was a and I'm biased. I think I'm a little biased to makeup and all the extra fashionable stuff that we do. My mother was a hairdresser. My grandfather was a barber. My ex-girlfriend was a makeup artist and hair tech. Like, she could do all that. So I've always naturally appreciated it. And even my
Mhm.
ex, she grew up in the same way. And I always keep hearing this or seeing this thing where brothers like, oh, we want sisters with no makeup. And I think I know what the issue is. And if I can try to explain it for brothers, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Some
Mhm.
don't want none at all. So I'm not listening to you. You don't like zero makeup whatsoever. I'm not talking to you. I think
Mhm.
there's a middle ground where is time and place. You wake up cute, we love that. And then you get fresh and dolled up. I mean, we love that. And I've always thought that women, I mean, it's almost how y'all grow up. Y'all grow up playing with baby dolls, y'all grow up playing with makeup, y'all grow up playing with hair. And so I think it's part of that feminine thing where that little extra touch that a woman, and I think men oftentimes try to attach this, well, you look good without it. It's not that
Yeah.
they feel that they don't,
Right.
but
Right.
that extra.
Right.
Listen, I need a haircut right now. I'm feeling some kind of way when I ain't got this haircut. When I get this haircut, I'm feeling some kind of way. You know what I'm saying?
Level. Right.
So I think it's the same
Yeah.
when a woman got her hair, nails, makeup, and she feeling spicy. Speak to that because you into that. You do that. You know what I'm saying? Speak to that. Break it down to
I
the brothers.
Well, actually, I feel like that's not really what it is.
Okay.
I feel like I feel like a lot of men, what they think is natural is just makeup done properly,
Okay.
and I feel like whenever they say like they don't want the cake on makeup, they're talking about women who are, like aren't applying it properly, have, the
Don't know
clown
what they're
colors, it's not
doing.
blended. It's not a matter of a lot of makeup. That might not even be a lot of makeup. It's just not put on properly.
Right.
I feel like, because I've, been attached to men who say they don't like a lot of makeup, but that's my field. And they're like, oh, you look nice. And when you get dressed up, like they appreciate it because it's like, well, yeah, you do it right. So you the exception.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yes, it's a matter of it being applied properly. I feel like most men can appreciate it, unless, like you said, unless it's the kind of man that doesn't want any of that at all.
Right.
I grew up, see, my grandmother, my mom were, the type to put clothes on, especially my grandmother, put clothes on, just go to Walmart, put
Right.
makeup on, lipstick on, hair looking right, just go get some cabbage.
Right.
So, so, she was the type of person that wants to see your nails. Look, let me see your nails. You got your nails done. All right, don't be coming up looking crazy. And everybody knew her for that. Like I know I'm about to go see Corrine, so let me make sure I'm looking right because she's gonna check me about my nails being chipped.
And there's no question. Feel good, look good. There is no question that it's real. It is a real thing. It is a real thing. Where us men, we could be savages. There's that video. There's a video montage of a man. He has a purple Solo cup, and he says, "Girl, get on in that bed. We'll overlook it." Like, because we don't care as much oftentimes, and so whereas the woman cares about her presentation, and she feels better about her presentation. Because if a woman feeling sexy, she's feel like you gonna benefit from it, bro. You really gonna benefit. If she feeling herself, you gonna win because of it. So let her get to the point where she feeling herself. But we appreciate. But when you get the result, and that result is hitting, you be like, all right, we can roll. I mean, it's just the way it is.
And that appreciation is so important because I have experienced people who just like, I mean, you just look so cute when you regular, but not even past me just liking to, keep myself together. That's what profession I'm in. So I'm a walking billboard. So why would you get involved with someone that, is in that field, you see how they're coming and you try to convince them you're just so beautiful, like without it, and you just, okay, I appreciate it. I'm confident without it, but it's not about you.
You like you just said, you're a walking presentation. again, I've been in a relationship with somebody who was that, and there's no question about it. She would run out of cards. Like always had to have business cards because if somebody would stop and ask something about that eye makeup, something about this, something about that. Again, you're your own advertisement. And when that's your business, when that's your field, yeah, I would recommend that brothers do not date a woman in the fashion of the aesthetic, the hair, the makeup. Don't date a woman in that field and then have something to say about that. You're really wasting your time. Like
you really are, because
it's artistic.
It's like,
yeah, it's an art. It's an effort. It's the energy. It's everything about that. It's a big thing. I mean, again, I'm biased because I grew up with a mother who was a beautician. So naturally, I understand. I mean, I grew up seeing, all the women lined up with their hair under the, with their head under their hair dryer. I've seen all of that. So that's just what women did. My grandmother, went to her grave 98 years old, went to her grave with her nails done. Not because they got them done on her way.
Right.
They were done when she went to sleep. Her final sleep, her nails were done.
Right.
It was understood that my aunt made sure we don't let Melvina Hill did not have her nails done. My father told my grandmother that nails were tools. My grandmother looked at him like he was crazy. No. I'm wearing gloves to do these dishes. I wear gloves for everything.
Right. You gotta protect
these I'm biting my nails like I don't care.
And I find that that's not, being healthy isn't important to enough men.
Oh man, listen.
It's like, hey, when I get married, I don't want my husband to just die on me because he ain't taking care of it. Like, that can't be the reason.
Listen, in our community, and it's a very important thing. We got to consider our eating habits. We got to consider like a lot of times we talk about what we ate, like what our grandparents and great grandparents ate, and it's what they had to eat sometimes, right?
Right.
But I'm like, could you imagine how many like they were walking to and from school? Some of y'all ain't never walked to school. They were burning calories. Right. They needed sugars and fats and carbs in a way that their bodies got it out because they were doing. And then even back then, the stuff wasn't as processed.
Right.
There's so many different levels. Health, and that's another big thing. Health is health is wealth. I mean, like I know people who won't pick up a bottle of water. They won't pick up a bottle of water in a day. And I'm just like, how? I'm like, half of y'all run around, y'all just dehydrated. Ain't nothing else wrong with you. When you go to the doctor and you get a real good good doctor, they ask you how much water you drinking.
Yeah.
Because they can.
Do you know some people who, take headache medicines and stuff all the time, keep aspirin on deck? It always shocked me when people be like, you have some aspirin in your purse? Why the hell would I have that in my purse? Like, I've never really, I don't just anticipate the next ache. Right. But some people carry that kind of stuff on their in their purse because they dehydrated. You got a headache because you're dehydrated. You got a headache because you eating all that pork and all that salt, and you don't need aspirin.
Yeah. No. Listen, let me tell you what I need a headache for. I need a headache for a certain type of night of drinking. That is
right.
Listen, either that and I got Excedrin back in body. I ain't trying to plug y'all, but I got that for a terrible when I go into the gym and I just do too much and I just know I need to go to sleep. Like I don't do pain meds, and I just don't.
Right.
There's that, man. There's balancing that diet. There's, even and it's not just a black thing, truthfully. It's in the United States of America.
Yes. United States.
Our portions are so ridiculous compared to other countries.
Yes.
How much meat we eat compared to how many times in other countries they eat meat in a day. We got to eat meat with every meal. Some cultures, they eat meat 2-3 times a week. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, bro, you got dying flesh in your body. And so it's really more so about a balance than anything else. I mean, I keep it relatively simple. I try to keep my veggie input way more than everything else. I try to make sure I'm bringing in 3-4 times the amount of veggies than everything. And then as far as drinking, way more water than anything else. I mean, it
Right.
gets bad because I mean, it gets bad. I mean, I'd hate to invite somebody over and they say, you got something to drink? Water and alcohol.
I feel like, so many people haven't transitioned out of that, college mode. You in your 20s, you eat what you want, you doing what you want, and people don't find that. You know how people say, like, what's too old for this and what's too old for that? There's so many people, that's part of the issue. So many people are not finding that transitional phase where it's like, okay, now I need to consider these health risks and, think about this more and be more mindful of those type of things. People having heart attacks younger and younger.
Man, yeah. Yeah. And listen, I don't want to live forever. I don't need to live until I'm 100. I don't.
Right.
But however long I live, I need to be fully functional.
Right.
I need everything to work. Everything. Now,
right. Yeah.
It's a lot of dudes who are 30 and 40 already taking medication for erectile dysfunction. Bro, I don't care. There's nothing you can tell me that there's no reason for that in 98% of us. And I'm just throwing out a number. I can be wrong. It might be 80, it might be not. But for the majority, there's no excuse.
But it's a lot.
There's no excuse for that because, bro, that's blood flow. That's blood flow. That's body fat. That's salt. That's so many other things going on in your body. So no, I don't even want to be 50. I don't want to take that at 50. The directions even tell you got to have a healthy heart, or it's going to compromise your heart. Like it's increasing your blood flow in an unnatural way. So you're taking time off of your life if you're doing that. Now, if you got to do it, you got to do it. I'm just saying, if I got to take that, I need to be well beyond some years to where I'm like, okay, I got to go ahead and take that medicine to get it going. I need to be somewhere 60, north of 60. I need to be north of 60.
And then it can be a matter of you haven't already tried, eating better and doing, making
all the other stuff first.
You at the age where it's just like, okay, it's a struggle and it's not because of something that I'm doing or not doing.
Right. It's pure age. So
right.
Listen, unfortunately, my father is, how old is dad? 68, and he is quick to let us know it works. Don't nobody care, Dad. Nobody. As far as in our curriculum, in our schools from kindergarten all the way up through high school, what is something that you think ought to be in our curriculum to get young people prepared? Because, I think oftentimes everybody's like, okay, you got to go to college. You got to go to college. What is something in our own education curriculum that should be there, that should be preparing people before they even take off to college?
Financial planning and credit building.
Right.
Because that's the first thing you ruin when you get out of high school. As soon as you get ready to go to college, you're getting those credit cards in the mail.
Or you get that first car.
Right.
And that first repo.
Yeah.
That first ridiculous rate, and you don't know nothing about refinancing. So
before you know it, it's gone too far, and you in the hole trying to repair it, and before you even realize that shit even mattered.
Right.
Yeah. So that's one of the biggest things I feel like, because there's so many, like they're adding things I feel like some things need to be discussed, and there are things that people need to learn, but it's not as important as financial planning and, learning how to deal with money and credit and all that. I feel like that's far more important than a lot of things that they're, learning. Even requiring them to learn a second language in some places. I feel like they should have an option when it comes to that. That shouldn't be required, because that's not going to limit as many people as, not being
financially literate. Yeah.
Oh.
One of the things I've always thought, when I was coming up, we had auto shop, you had carpentry, you had early child care, you had cosmetology on the high school level. So like I remember our senior year, that's what we did. Like some of us went to shop classes, some of us went to commercial art classes, some of the sisters went to cosmetology. You got that basic apprenticeship, and then when you got out of there, all you needed was another year and some hours, and you had a license in an actual trade.
Yeah.
Taking that away, taking that out, like to me that's mind-boggling, because I'm thinking it at least gave you a money maker. You had a money maker if you put in the time coming out of high school. I think that's definitely something that absolutely should be back. And anybody running for superintendent of a school, I think, hey, listen, this is the kind of voting stuff that I be talking about. Man,
right.
Get that back in there. I mean, I know being a cosmetologist isn't, I'm not saying that, but that's a hustle. That's money. That's extra money. Whatever it is. If a dude can work on cars, if a dude can go hang some drywall, that's money. He ain't got to punch the clock for that. He just need to buy the tools.
I feel like that takes away from the whole plot, though. The goal is to get you to spend more money.
Yeah.
The consumer, you got to be a consumer for your whole life. Anywhere I can get you to make some money, and so I'm gonna take this from the school. So you got to pay me $30,000 to learn this instead. It's too much to make it easy and set you up for success early, so you don't have to work for other people. That's too much like.
Yeah, being a entrepreneur, it's brushed over so quickly in school. You're taught about the concept. You're not taught about the construct. You're not taught about how to become it. You're just taught about the concept. The construct that you're taught is to go to school, go get a job, go work for a corporation, and go put your money somewhere in an IRA, which is fine, and go do all that stuff, and then build up to a retirement. And there's a duality. You can do both of those things. You can go the clock, and then you can go build into this. And I think, and it kind of segues into, I think I'm sort of optimistic about the future of the collective, because I am seeing, like with my eyes, I don't know what's translating as far as dollars and demographics. Maybe it hasn't been going on long enough to actually see the numbers. And somebody who can crunch the numbers or who has access to it, let me know. But I'm seeing so many people from my generation, but then even the generation coming behind us, to where they're getting these LLCs, they're getting these trades, they're getting these certifications. It's a duality. They're playing with both of those things. And I'm hoping that that's the trend. I'm hoping that it continues on that way. Entrepreneurship is big. I understand. Trust me, I understand the stability of getting into a corporation and putting the time in and getting something out of it the long way. But man, there is no ceiling when it comes to entrepreneurship and a work ethic. There's no ceiling to that. These corporations, they all got ceilings.
And then and who wants to be a part of a company that a lot of times you're there because of affirmative action? Like you're there, it ain't got nothing to do with them really finding value in you.
Right.
So why do you want to compete in a space where they're not even looking at what you have to offer? Yeah. It's like it's making your own lane is the wave. It's the way to go. And and let me put this out there. I respect people who stay in their lane and who don't feel like entrepreneurship is for them, because I do understand
it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody, and there's no judgment for I know a lot of people try to shame people who still are okay with working for other people, whatever, do your thing. But if they're right, exactly. But if you can find a way to create a lane so that you're not, competing, because we're past the era where, hey, well, this is right and this is holding you back and this is that, and I don't want to go too deep into that, but the whole we being held back, that we can't do that no more. Right. Create your lane and go for what you're trying to get without asking permission, and